and it's just chainsaws and blood everywhere. And then you watch Evil Dead 2, it's got a sense of humor to it. So it was the first time that I sort of got a sense that Sam loves the Three Stooges, and that there was a wackiness to the Evil Dead world that started to grow out of Evil Dead 2. Army of Darkness took it even further. So it was an interesting transition. When I signed on to Evil Dead 2, I thought it was going to be like this sort of balls out horror gore, and I started, there's one really funny scene where Bruce is in the woodshed and he's like yelling at Linda's head in the vice, and he cranks the head in and he's yelling at her and she spits green bile on him, ridiculous as it is. And then the door flies open, in the script, the door flies open and Linda's headless body charges in with a chainsaw and tries to kill him. And I read the script, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever read. Like a headless body wielding a chainsaw. And then when we shot it, we made this little puppet, and we puppeteered it from up above, and we had a little creeper dolly. And when the door flies open, it goes, and it comes in like a Muppet. And it was so silly, and I kind of went, not quite how I had imagined, like this really cool, like headless zombie torso wielding a chainsaw. And it was wacky, but
if you haven't seen that should sell you. Evil Dead 2. When you look back on it, do you ever watch it and just, has your estimation of it changed? It's kind of a cult classic now.
They had a screening in Los Angeles about 2 years ago that I went to, and I hadn't seen the movie in the theater. And I feel kind of bad for people who haven't had the opportunity to see a lot of these movies screened and projected. They see them on home video, or they see them on their iPads, or the worst, they see them on their phones, which makes me want to cry. But the thing I would say is, especially this time of year, when they project these old movies, go to the theater and see it. I mean, just very much like The Walking Dead, which is a communal experience. And people love getting together and watching The Walking Dead because they like sharing that experience. Horror movies were made to sit in a theater and listen to somebody scream in front of you and behind you and next to you. And when Jaws came out and Ben Gardner's head popped out of the bottom of that boat, the entire audience screamed at the exact same second. It was that adrenaline rush of the 5 minutes after, when all of a sudden you didn't trust what was going to happen in Dawn of the Dead when the girl gets bit in the neck for the first time and you see the blood spray. You don't trust, and there's that electricity in the movie theater, and it makes me a little sad that people don't get to experience that as much anymore, because that experience of sitting in the movie theater and having people freak out around you, and that murmuring of like, you're gonna be okay, no, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, and then something else happens, like, that's so much fun, and that's the world that I grew up in, and to be able to repay that on The Walking Dead by having it be a communal experience, thanks a lot to you guys.
And I was just gonna say that my favorite thing of the weekend, other than getting to do these panels, is Sunday night when we all get together and watch the episode. Tomorrow night, we're all gonna watch the episode in here. And it is the coolest thing, because it's like watching a horror movie in the theater, or going to a sporting event. Everybody's cheering together, or everybody's screaming together, or laughing, and it's just, that electricity is like nothing else.
Listen, every year when we have the premiere, Gail Ann Hurd always leans over to me and says, we should screen episodes every year. In the first episode, there were people laughing at things that we didn't even think they would laugh at, but the experience of watching things in the theater, it really, I love that your boots are glowing. I forgot for a second that he was Marty McFly. For a split second, I went, your boots are glowing. Oh, wait. But anyway, listen, guys, it means the world to me that you guys have continued to support the show. It's been a really challenging year, and I feel like we're in the corner of the boxing ring, fighting out every day to make sure that the episodes are as good as they can possibly be. And I couldn't be more proud of this season and where it's unfolding. And the funny thing about watching the episode with you guys is I know everything that's going to happen. So when people start going, oh no, what's going to happen? I'm like, I know, I just can't tell you. And then somebody comes and goes, hey, here's 5 Jack and Cokes. Drink these and then tell me what's going to happen later.
It doesn't work.
It never works. No.
Speaking of that, I'll go to the audience, but I saw the Ash vs. Evil Dead pilot, and it's exactly what you want from an Evil Dead TV show.
I heard it's super gory.
It's so good. It's funny as hell too. Let's go to you guys.